On this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to install vinyl plank flooring, laminate flooring, or engineered type wood inside your kitchen, so stay tuned. Welcome to Fix This House. If you're new to the channel, please consider pressing the subscribe and notification bell so you can always be in tune on DIYs, how-to videos, and product reviews that I do within this channel. Welcome back to my kitchen renovation series, and as you can see, I'm taking out the pantry. I just finished taking out also all my cabinets, my countertops, and look what's behind all that. There's a lot of messed up wiring behind here from the past owner of the home. I'm going to be fixing these later on, so stay tuned for those future videos where I'm going to be showing you how to fix all these damages. Now, if you're looking right here, we are going to be continuing the flooring on this kitchen because this is where it stopped when I used to have all my cabinets. So we're going to take out the ventilation cover. We're going to be using this suction tool. If you want to use this, I'll leave the link on the description down below. But we're going to be taking out all these vinyl planks that do not have the click and lock on them. And I'll be showing you that later on what they look like. But if you have those with no click and lock, this was straight cut out, you are going to be taking out all those planks so that you can replace it with one with a click and lock system. This one does not have a click and lock because it was cut. This is what you're trying to replace it with a click and lock, so that both of those planks that you're trying to attach will pretty much go together and lock together, and that is very important. Okay, so do not use that, just throw that away. All right, so the vinyl plank flooring that I'll be using here is the Golden Arowana. I got this on a deal at Costco, but if you're interested on other vinyl plank floorings, those are actually available in the description down below, and you are gonna separate them one by one. This comes 7 inside a box. I'm also gonna take out the oven, and I forgot to take this out as well because behind that is other areas that needs to be replaced and are missing the tongue and groove and the click and lock system. If they're in good condition, keep them, but since it's going to be behind the oven, it should be okay. We're going to be taking out this because it is missing the click and lock system on these. All right, so since it's going to be hidden, we're not going to focus too much on the back, but we're still going to try to make it look good. Okay, so easiest way to take this is pretty much just snap it out of there, and this should be okay. Just be very careful not to damage this areas. If you see damages like this on where the tongue and grooves are, just simply take these out, replace them easy. So that's what I'm doing right now, is just taking them out. And what you should have here are the new planks that are still in good condition that you're willing to reuse. Okay, so once that's done, you are gonna go vacuum the area real well. Make sure you dust and take out all that debris, that's because so you can have a nice surface. You're gonna measure out what is needed for the missing area. Again, I always stay away a 1/4 inch away from the wall so that I have enough space for expansion and contraction. Okay, so this one we're going to be using a square. I highly suggest you use a square, and for this type of flooring you want to use a box knife or utility knife, and you're just going to score it just like drywall. Cut it, run it about 2 to 3 times, and this one is like drywall as well. It snaps just like that. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I put any underlayment? This actually has a built-in underlayment soft padding underneath. Make sure that you check the instructions manual or instructions if an underlayment is required before installing these, because sometimes putting underlayment will void the warranty, so make sure you check for that. Alright, so the tools I'll be using here is the Roberts. It does have a pull bar, this tapping block, and it also has a mallet and these spacers. These has a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch spacer, which is pretty good. I'll leave the link on the description down below as well for this type of tool. And we're going to be starting off at the end as well. We're going to be starting off to the further away from the wall, and we're going to work towards the wall. Okay, so it's very important also that you use padding for your knees, because this stuff is, the subfloor is very hard and rough on the knees. So make sure you use knee pads or any type of padding. We're going to be just tapping the new pieces in, and you're going to be using the pull bar on the edge. That's why we leave a 1/4 inch gap so that we can have that pull bar space, and then we're just going to tap and use that click and lock system and tap those together. It's always good to separate your vinyl plank floorings to the ones that match. You don't want all the vinyl planks to have the same pattern design, and I always stay away about 10 inches away from each seam. So depending on the manufacturer, sometimes it's 6, 8. In this case I do 10. It doesn't really matter, just as long as it's not too short of a gap. Okay, so there we have it. So we're just going to be sliding this in. We're kind of working backwards here because we are going to be building out from the old flooring. And you're just going to make sure that it matches up and butts up real nice. You're going to use that tapping block to tap those together so you have that nice seamless ends right there. Okay, so now we're going to be continue on once again to the very end. Make sure that you use the pieces wisely. If you have limited amounts, that's always good to have extra pieces whenever you buy flooring. Always have extra, buy extra, just for these times where you're going to end up, you know, continuing on with your flooring, especially on this area with my kitchen. This is where my cabinets and my countertop used to be, and luckily enough I was able to save a few boxes of this stuff. And this one here, what happened was the click and lock system broke. If this happens to you, make sure you throw that away. Just be very careful on this stuff. On the click and lock system here are very fragile, so make sure that you don't hit so hard on the butt joints because that will crack that. All right, so now that we got that done, we are going to be cutting along this interference right here, which is the ventilation area. It's very easy to do. Just make sure you measure out the difference. I always lay it on top of here to make it easier for me, and I'm just gonna mark out my cutout. This area I'm gonna be using a jigsaw. Again, this is one of the easiest tools that I like to use when cutting interference and cutouts on my vinyl plank flooring or any type of flooring. And we're just gonna match it up here. And lesson learned, I didn't cut enough on the backing for that one, but this one I actually cut off about ½ inch away from the wall so that I have enough space for my pull bar so that I can use that to lock those tongue and groove together. All right, so make sure that you line those up real well. Very easy, straightforward. Right when you get this to this part, it's pretty much self-explanatory from there and easier to install. Now in this one, I'm just using this, not the best of piece, because this is going to be hidden away anyways. This is going to be underneath my cabinets and yeah, behind the oven as well. But this is what it looks like, friends. Again, this is waterproof vinyl plank flooring. It's similar types. If you're going to be using laminate or engineered type flooring, it's same type install if you have the tongue and groove and the click and lock system. But I like this because I have kids, and this is gonna last long because they ride with toy cars. Gonna get these scratched up, and they're very scratch resistance friendly. So, and it's also great because it's waterproof as well, especially when it's going to be installed in the kitchen. Hopefully you found big value to this video, friends. If you did, please hit that big thumbs up, press the subscribe notification bell, and I'll see you, friends, on the next episode. Thank you so much.